Reverend Samuel Rodriguez, president of the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference, and Elder Bernice King, CEO of the King Center and daughter of the late Martin Luther King, have been meeting this week in Atlanta with pastors to talk about education and specifically the education achievement gap between minority and non-minority students. And Elder King, you are a longtime education advocate, and the achievement gap is not a new issue for our country. What can you tell us about the gap as it stands today, and have we made any progress?
Well, I would say that we've made very little progress. When you look at the achievement gap in our country, children of color, Black and brown children are still lagging behind in terms of educational achievement. We are not graduating at the same level as those in the white community. Many of us are not going on to college at the same rate. And so we have a lot of work to do in terms of raising the standards in education to overcome that. I mean, it's important that we set high standards for all children and not lag when it comes to children of color. When I think about this issue, I think about it's been almost 60 years ago, in fact, when the Brown versus Board of Education ruling came down, and that said separate is inherently unequal. And we still are there. When we look at most of the school systems around the nation, in particular our public school systems, they're still separate and they're inherently unequal.
Right.
Black children.
It's still an issue. Let me ask Reverend Rodriguez, you have been meeting with a number of pastors, and what are they telling you about their concerns with the education of minority youth in their churches?
Educational inequality exists in America today, and it behooves us. We have a prophetic mandate, we have a biblical mandate to address any and all issues of injustice. And it's wrong, by the way, Heather, it's wrong for a 12th grader in the inner city to be reading Dora the Explorer while 12th graders in the suburbs are reading Chaucer and Shakespeare. It's wrong. It's morally reprehensible. It's biblically wrong. It's spiritually wrong. These children are all created in the image of God. That's why I do believe, just like the church has addressed issues of segregation and slavery, we have to address issues of educational inequality. That's why we established and launched this week the Faith in Education Coalition.
All right, Elder King, why did you make it a point to meet with pastors, and what do you believe is the role of the church in promoting education for minority youth?
Well, predominantly because of the work that my father did in civil rights, and certainly I believe that education is probably the most important civil rights issue of our time. And I firmly believe that it will take the faith community really getting involved for this issue to move and for us to see substantial change. And so I think the faith community can play a substantial role, in particular, the importance of adopting schools, being present more in the school system with mentors and supporting after-school programs. There's one gentleman we met with today that has a parent university, kind of help parents not only in their parenting, but helping them in terms of knowing how to really support their children in terms of their education. And I think these are things that we can do and we must do because it is our mandate as the people of God.
Reverend Rodriguez, what kinds of ways would you like to see churches get involved to encourage education for minority youth?
Preach about education. Make education a priority. Designate Sundays where parents come up and make a commitment that they will make education a priority in their corresponding households. We are Christ followers. We believe in salvation through Christ alone. But horizontally speaking, we can save our communities and save America if the pastors use that pulpit to advance educational standards that are high, because we are all created in the image of God.
All right, and ultimately, well, we all need to read the Bible, so education is important. Reverend Rodriguez and Elder King, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.